Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber, and this guy, he is a military officer and a combat veteran of 25 plus years. In other words, he's a badass, and he's writing in because he's really struggling with his family situation and his marriage. The guy has two daughters, one that's 12 and 8 years old. The guy loves him to death, but the problem is, big surprise, his wife. That basically she's a big giant pain in the ass. Very selfish, all about her, and even though this guy busts his ass to provide a very nice life, like for instance, he's obviously the breadwinner, takes care of everything, provides a nice house, private school for his girls, cars, the mother-in-law has been living with him for 5 years, a pretty stand-up guy. But no matter what he does, he can't make her happy. Okay, she's mad about stupid shit like he doesn't do enough PTA crap and things like that. And so she is constantly trying to tame him, mold him and be the type of guy that she wants him to be. Even though this guy is a badass, combat veteran, military officer, and does everything he can to provide a nice life. There's no making her happy. And this guy is really just, you can tell he's worn down by that. Even though he's a tough guy, he's worn down by this and really is just seeking opinions and some help out there as to where do I go from here? Because on different occasions, his wife threatens to leave, take away the girls, and obviously this guy is sticking around purely for the daughters. That's it, because he wants them to have a father figure growing up. He loves them. But the wife is just wearing him down, and he just can't. I can just tell he can't take it. I feel bad for this guy. So I'm going to go through his story here, and at the end, I'm going to share some opinions with him, what I think he should do at this point, given the information he's given me. And hopefully some of you guys in the comment sections, once the video is done, if you've ever been in a situation like this with a wife you can't make happy no matter what, and you're only standing for the daughters, what you guys went through, and some advice you can give him to help this guy out, because I really want to help this guy. So he starts off his email to me saying, "Salutations. I'm a little bit older than you, age 50, and I waited until I was 38 years old until I got married. I always wanted to have kids, but realized in general that women are something else." You realize what? Right. "I thought I could manage the chaos in the hopes to have children of my own. Fast forward 13 years, I have two daughters, 8 and 12. The most adorable girls in the world, as all fathers would claim. I would do anything for them. As you are well aware, the lack of fathers for girls can be especially devastating, resulting in an increased risk of a whole lot of host of problems. In short, girls and boys need their dads." Absolutely, I can go into a million reasons why for both boys and girls, but absolutely, girls need their dad. Girls need a strong male role model to help them choose guys that are strong male type of guys. Otherwise, what happens is they become kind of like what his wife is, and these angry, bitter, feminist women, my way or the highway, ball-busting, masculine, just very unpleasant people to be around. And by the way, that turned guys off. But they need a strong fatherly role model, and also a lot of women that don't have a dad in the picture often have some serious, serious daddy issues. I mean, big ones. I know some. So it's awesome that he's doing this, or doing his best for his girls. He says here, "Here's my current situation, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Again, I know you are busy, but in this particular conundrum, I feel utterly alone. Minus a good friend with whom I have confided, and thus felt compelled to reach out to you in an effort to expand my soul board without contacting my immediate family, who would naturally be alarmed. My thanks in advance. You seem like a straightforward individual, and despite your youth, any constructive advice you have would be most appreciative." Well, I am happy to help you, bro. And by the way, I'm not that much younger than you. I'll be 43 in 2 months. So I'm getting, believe me, 50 will hit me like that. So he goes on, "I am a 25-year combat veteran, and I'm still serving in the military, though I could retire soon. Throughout our marriage, I have worked 180 plus hours a month to provide $10,000 a month salary for my wife and children, placing them in private schools, paying for cars, house, everything. Even my mother-in-law, who lived with us for 5 years without complaint." Damn, dude, you're a really good guy. You are obviously busting your ass really hard for your family. That is great. And allowing your mother-in-law to live in the house with you, now sure, she can help with things around the house and watching the girls while you're gone, because the guy's going to mention that he does 6-month tours and things like that from time to time. And I hope that she has been good to the girls and not trying to manipulate them or any bullshit the way that, this guy's wife is doing. I hope that. But still, having the mother-in-law in the house changes everything. Now, I know I'm an uncompromising SOB. I ride motorcycles, work long hours, and frequently miss the volunteer opportunities to participate with kids' community theater productions, PTA meetings, etc. Though I did volunteer for a few, it was not enough to satisfy my wife, it seems. God forbid you don't get to be available for all the PTA meetings or the plays and things like that. Guess what? This guy is out there again doing 6-month tours, as you're going to find out, busting his ass to provide a very nice life for his wife and family. And if his wife doesn't like the fact that he doesn't do all these things, guess what? She knew darn well what she was getting into when she married the guy, because he said he was 38 when he got married. Now, maybe she's a hell of a lot younger than him, who knows? But regardless, you're an adult, so you know darn well what you're getting married to. So stop bitching and complaining. But as I've said many times in videos, you can't make women happy. Now, some are better than others, absolutely, but they generally are always going to complain about something and want something more, something more, something more. And those of you guys that have been married or in serious enough relationships that felt like marriages, you know what I'm talking about. It's a giant pain in the ass. But there are guys out there that do want to have kids, and they're in a situation where they're just not sure what they want to do, because basically they want to have kids, but they don't want to be married. They don't want to deal with these crazy wives because they know what happens. They've learned from other people. They've learned from in their own family. They've heard stories like the ones I do in this channel. But the problem is the kids. But this guy here is doing his best. He says, additionally, I was deployed and separated from my wife for 3 6-month tours, as well as this last stretch for 8 months due to COVID. You get the idea. Facts I'm more than willing to agree to were issues, and I apologize for. Hey, I'm not going to say a husband and father being away for a stretch like that isn't hard. I mean, it's definitely hard, okay? But that's not a reason to make this guy the villain here. She knew what she was getting into, and it certainly isn't a reason that gives these women, like stories have done, to cheat on their husbands. Good guys that are in dangerous situations that their number could be up any time, and he's doing what he's serving his country and providing a great living for his family. It's a shame. I never once complained. I never got after her when she threatened me with divorce and to take my daughters 18 months at the time, nor when she had my girls in tears at age 4 and 7, threatening to walk out years later. Essentially, she is a loaded flintlock ready to go off at the slightest agitation. So again, this guy's doing all these things, and yet when the daughter was 18 months old, threatened to leave. A few years later, she's not happy again, has the girls in tears, threatening again when the kids are 4 and 7 years old to leave. This is not a good situation. It seems like every few years, she's going to be pissed off about something, start a bunch of bullshit, and threaten to leave. That is not a healthy situation. That is not a healthy situation for those girls to be in, let alone this poor guy. Fast forward to today, October 2020, she took umbrage at a comment recently, which was criticism about me frequently gone and how it impacted my elder daughter's education, and claimed I was unconsciously saying she was a bad mother. What a load of bullshit. She was just using you impacting the girl's education just to basically start a fight, and how saying that with her and her mind, her warped mind, trying to say you are saying that she's a bad daughter. That she's a bad mother. Bullshit. She's a bad mother because she acts like an asshole. She's a bad mother because she keeps stirring up drama and shit, saying, I'm going to take the girls and run, you're never going to see them again, things like that. That makes her a bad mother. Her getting mad at you because, God forbid, you're not doing enough PTA crap and other community theater or whatever the hell it was to make her happy. No, you're a good father. This resulted in a 4-day saga of talking about the last 13 years of our marriage and how her unhappiness is a result of me not being there, not helping enough, and not loving her in an appreciative way. Appreciating her for what? For her drama? for her constantly threatening to leave and take the girls, for all her not being appreciative. Give me a break. You're not appreciating her. How about the fact that this guy, the guy who wrote this, is away doing tours. His number could be up at any time, and he's providing a very nice life. Okay, again, she signed on for this when she said, "I do." While I talked her out of immediately walking out with the kids, she has essentially taken off her wedding ring and said I need to prove to her how I have committed to change, though changing my behavior and will be more involved in the family facts to which I stipulate and gladly work for the sake of my girls. Brother, you don't need to change jack shit, okay? She needs to change. She needs to change her attitude and change her way of thinking and her personality and all that, but we all know that's not going to happen here. But no. You need to change, and her not wearing the wedding ring, that's some serious disrespect to you. Brother, I'm sure you could probably at this point see what my, when this is over, what my suggestion for you is going to be. But I'll continue with the story, and I'm sure a lot of guys watching this know what I'm going to say at the end of this whole email here. But I'll continue. My problem is that I don't believe she realizes the selfishness of her actions. Whether she realizes it or not, she doesn't give a shit. It's all about her. Sure, I may be a tough, relentless SOB. However, I can't agree that her feelings are more important than the welfare of our kids. My friends say that no matter what I do, as soon as she has the means, she plans on running back to her social safety net across the country, while I have to serve out the next 2 years of my current assignment. I agree with that. I would like to hear what you recommend. I have given everything she asked for, equal say in future assignments, kids' decisions, etc. Whatever she wants, if she can't find it in herself to forgive me and move forward. After a week, she is still not over it, refused to put on her ring, nor allow me to even touch her or make the effort to treat me with respect. Not cool. I am willing to walk over hot coals for my kids, but this has pushed me to the limit. I have headed back to the gym and started working out every day, which has made me feel a lot better. Well, good for you, man. That's awesome. Yes, the gym is the fountain of youth, guys. Go in there, whether you're doing cardio, lifting weights, or you do both, which you should, you're instantly going to feel a hell of a lot better. Believe me on this. I had days, guys, where I had a lot of shit going on in my life years ago with family and things like that, and I didn't want to go out. But I'd go to my martial arts classes, and 20 minutes into the workout, I felt so much better. And by the end of the hour, and sometimes 2 hours, the problems I was having, all of a sudden, seemed not so big a deal, even though they were. Working out, it's a fountain of youth. So keep hitting the gym. That's good for this guy. Question for you. In all seriousness, what would you do? Risk half your retirement and the loss of a full-time father for your kids? Let me know what you think. Either way, I don't think I can last 10 more years if the situation does not improve for the better. I know it's a lot to ask a near total stranger, but I'm sure I'm not the only one going through this and would love to hear an opinion from the outside. Thank you very much, Major G. Well, bro, I appreciate you contacting me, and hopefully I can help you out. So basically, here's the thing. 10 years, his youngest daughter is 8 years old, so I think he's saying basically 10 more years until she's 18, legal and adult, off to college or wherever she may go. 10 years of this bullshit with your wife is a long time. A long time. 10 years goes by fast when you're happy, but when you're slow, time seems to drag on and on and on. Can you really handle 10 more years of all this bullshit? Because by then you'll be 60 years old, okay? And you're going to, in my opinion, you'll then hit 60 years old if you don't lose your mind or she doesn't leave you beforehand and say, what the hell was I thinking? Okay, I think it's awesome. I'm addressing the guy here. I think it's awesome that you're doing such a great job for your family and your daughters, and you're putting up with her crap for them. Seriously, that I applaud you. That is awesome. But also, you got to take care of you, bro. Okay? And I know you're tough, and you've survived a hell of a lot as a combat veteran, which I have great respect for, and thank you for your service, by the way. But given what you've told me about how she is and how things have gone throughout your marriage, where twice you mentioned in the email about how she just threatened to take the girls and leave and all that, and now she's doing it again for the third time, eventually she will. okay? Or at the very least, she'll keep making these threats. And you're never gonna make her happy. You can just tell right now, she's one of the, we can all joke you pretty much can't make any women happy, but there's degrees to this shit. But this is an extreme case, and no matter what you do, you're not going to make her happy. Because let's just say that you start being around more for PTA crap and all that stuff. Well, then she'll start getting mad because maybe you're not bringing as much money and can't provide for the things that she's used to. So you can't win. So what I would suggest, bro, given what you've told me about all this, given the fact that, all her threats, all the drama, all the bullshit, how you're deeply unhappy. And by the way, you being unhappy will affect your health. And you want to be good and healthy for your daughter so you can be around with it for a long time. Given everything you told me, given the fact that she is a ticking time bomb or a loaded flintlock, like you said, if it was me, I would start planning an exit strategy. That's what I would do. Because I don't see this ending this is only going to get worse. And there's no way that your girls think that everything's great with mom and dad. Trust me, they can pick up on this shit. And if you stick with the wife for another 10 years during the very important years of growth for your children, it is a very strong possibility those girls eventually will end up in relationships like yours. Because that's what they're used to. Seeing mom and dad that are fighting or where there's tension or they don't love each other. And I know you don't want that for those girls. And so even though the thought of you not being around them all the time and having partial custody must really make you feel like your heart's being ripped out, the bigger picture is it would be better for them to at least see you happy, and also for your own personal happiness, because you're going to lose your mind being around this woman for 10 more years. If you think it's bad now, it's going to be even worse. So like I said, I would plan exit strategy. I would, as covertly as you can, meet up with a divorce attorney, and I would talk to him or her about all your options. Lay it out on the table. Let the divorce attorney tell you the likely outcome based on where you live, what state you live in, with the military, how things go. What's the likely scenario in terms of like how often would you get the kids, how much money will go to your ex in terms of your retirement money, alimony, child support, all that. Figure it all out. And then also find out the worst case scenario. Find out from the divorce attorney the absolute worst case scenario that the divorce attorney, in his or her experience, so that can tell you, so that way you can be prepared for it mentally. And at that point then, go from there. Figure out so you'll be mentally and emotionally and psychologically prepared to do this, because your life's going to be a living hell. It already seems like a living hell, but it's going to get even worse. Okay? And life is short, bro. Okay? You're 50 years old. And let's just say, for argument's sake, let's just say you initiated this by the time you're 51, and maybe you're done with this by the time you're 52, well, you still got a lot of living left, okay? Because, there was a time and place where I used to think 50 was ancient. I remember when my godfather turned 50 when I was 10 years old, and I thought he was like an ancient old man. Well, back then in the late 80s, because people weren't as knowledgeable about health and fitness and diet and everything, 50 was a lot different then. Well, nowadays, 50 is not that big a deal. So you got a whole life you can enjoy on your own terms. Will it suck not seeing your daughters in the same house? Yeah, definitely. But at least you can have happiness, and they'll see you being happy, and that can help them so they don't end up in a situation like yours. That's what I think. But 10 more years of this shit, and you may think, oh, you don't want happy retirement going to your ex. Totally understandable. But again, you obviously have proven that you're willing to work your ass off to make money. So even though she may get half of your retirement or whatever it happens to be, believe me, you're obviously a tough, resourceful guy, and you will find a way to rebuild a lot of that wealth, invest it, be frugal. Let's be honest here, bro. Us guys, by and large, are very frugal. Okay, most guys aren't stupid with their money the way women are. And so we can very easily, in a situation like that, rebuild, reinvest, keep our expenses low, run our lives like a business, and make up that money. So you can do that. But staying in this relationship, I think is a bad idea. Okay, but at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. Seriously. But if it was me, based on what I know, what I've experienced in life, and all the stories I've heard, and things that happened to family members I know, friends I know, acquaintances I know, all that, better to exit strategy and find a way out. So, but anyhow, I really wish this guy the best, guys. And so, guys, be sure to comment down below. Let this guy know what you think. For any of you guys that have been in a situation like this, where you know darn well you want to be there for your kids, but the wife is just making you just miserable, and you can't imagine doing so many more years, let this guy know how you dealt with it, what you did, how you dealt with it, how you moved on. Because trust me, this guy's a tough guy. So I guarantee it was tough for him to write me and ask for advice and share his story. So any of you guys have a situation like that, please do comment below, take a couple minutes out of your time and help this guy out. I really want to help him out. So, and guys, be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.